You were like an activation rod, an activation antenna for higher consciousness to be brought back to humanity. There are many like us doing this on the planet, especially in sacred sites, because why? Because there are specific sites on the earth and we don't even know all of them. We think we do, and we say, oh, I want to go to this or that because it's sacred. There's so many more that we don't even know yet. But these sacred sites amplify and broadcast at another level, okay? So when you went to Egypt and you were doing your being you and allowing, every step you took was amplifying higher consciousness being activated at a new level for all of humanity and all of consciousness through those sacred sites in connection with what you were running through your body. Does that make sense to you?
No. That is too much to fathom, actually. But
So how are you, Holy One?
I'm great. I'm much better. I'm so excited, so alive. I'm good.
Oh, thank you so much for agreeing to be this space and being open to being this space. I loved every one of your email replies. They brought me so much joy and just watching and witnessing the way you were leaning in and allowing, the way you were leaning in and trusting. So I'm really, really grateful for that. And your story is so big, and I don't even know it all. I only know, little teeny pieces of it, And yeah, there's this space of me that knows there's so much more with you, with your connection to Acasma quantum energy, with your connection to me, with your connection to this space of our community and our family of light. And so I was just like, we've got to do a call if we can, if you're all right with that. I won't do it justice, but I know you'll be able to bring so much more understanding in of what I'm talking about. I feel it, right? But then you have the specifics. You have like the aha moments and the little things that led you to this space and what happened after that, So can we go back to the beginning and kind of take everybody with us on this somewhat of this journey to a certain degree?
Anthony, my family name is Matta, and
Beautiful.
I'm Lebanese, and I'm 39 years old, and I work at night as a night shift in a casino, and I've been experiencing a lot of uh, uh, spiritual, energetic experiences, interferences. I've been saved many times from death,
Wow.
and my story is like really complicated to start with, so I
Okay.
would recommend you would take it from here.
Okay, so we'll just go with spaces and we'll let that open up as ever, however this goes. All right, so thank you for that background because it's phenomenal in itself to just know that a woman in the United States who felt to follow her heart and lean in and allow and trust herself and
What
speaks her
about that?
languages.
Let's talk about that because this is the now, and this is what I'm really interested in.
Right,
Because
I find it fascinating. So then you, this man in Lebanon, you heard me, you saw me. Where did this happen? How did you find me?
actually, it started on a journey to self-healing from past traumas and wounds and generational break cursing, if you want to put it like that. And I started like following people on YouTube and like researching and experience after experience, it led me to your shorts of light
Mm.
language that you do in the car.
Oh,
And
okay.
it touched my heart somehow, but I didn't understand anything at that moment. It's like, who is that woman and what does she do? And what is she saying? Like, really, it's, I don't know what she's saying, but it's like, it's doing something here. And tears just like go
Mm.
running my eyes, like a fast flow of tears. And I, I was I was really lost at that moment. Like I didn't know what to do, how to heal this pain inside. Like, and I was like, I was at that moment where I lost my grandma,
Mm.
and it was like in a divinely orchestrated way
Mm.
to help me understand that I am on the right path of breaking that generational curses, of transmuting it into my healing within. It will help healing others at the same time. So I reached that state, but I'm still not fine. Like this heaviness is on the chest is absolutely unbearable. Like I suffocate sometimes. Like I lose breath. I start I I don't want to breathe anymore. Like it's so painful. And then I was like channeling, I was getting a message, channeled message from someone on YouTube called Alia. I think it's Alia Light Language. And she said, your dragon asked you to ask him for help because he can help you and he's really strong. And I didn't know what she was talking about. Like, what dragon are you talking about? I don't have a dragon. But I was so hopeless at that moment when okay, let's try it. So I hugged my pillow. I was in bed. I hugged my pillow. I pressed it on the chest. And I simply, like, I said, okay, Mr. Dragon, can you do something about this?
Mm.
So I fell asleep and I felt like he took me somewhere that I didn't recognize where it was. And I felt so safe. And I felt someone else giving me a hug instead of the pillow.
Mm.
And I fell asleep.
Mm. That's
Then it happened one more time, another day, the next day, I guess. Then another day, the third day. Then I started getting confirmations through your videos on YouTube, through the shorts on YouTube. It was so synchronized that I woke up one day and I started writing your light language in my Lebanese language, but
okay.
in a French, like in a French way. But I will explain that later. But anyway, I started writing it and I started understanding and I started like saying it and like, what is this? What is happening? Like I need explanations for this, like from you, like
Mm.
deep explanations. Like,
Mm.
did that truly happen? Did I go from Lebanon to Florida and hug someone?
I believe so. Yes, I believe my understanding is that in our human formats, the spaces we see ourselves as in these human lives, uh, we separate ourselves out so much and we slow everything down into these really form-based experiential spaces of ourselves. But at the same time, and this is something we're remembering, and this is what you're activating and I'm activating, we're that fully connected unity consciousness. We are one being having innumerable spaces of itself to explore itself. So, in that moment where you felt the hug back, and you also uh, experienced this opening, I think, of yourself, somewhat of an opening, it was happening to you in your multidimensional, quantum, eternal space of existence, you, who is also the you looking through your eyes as Anthony. Does this make sense?
Does
So,
does.
so what's happening is Anthony is like the anchor point of this expansiveness of you. Andrea is the anchor point of the expansiveness of my space. As Anthony understands and allows, then these vaster spaces of Anthony that he is in his eternalness get to be more present in his now. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
That's
then you
why I
get,
feel better.
okay, yeah. And so I really love the part about the light language. So, because that was really cool too, because you're in our Acasma community. So you're in one of our chat spaces we have on Discord. And I remember, please let me know, if was that the first time you shared it with someone else, or that you even
Yeah,
spoke it out loud, but you recorded yourself and you put it into the chat.
directly to the chat. It was the first time I said it out loud, and I felt a force on the back of my neck, on the back of my neck, that is like pushing me, and it sometimes it pushes me to flex as well my neck and
Yes.
do something, and it pushes the word out. Like I don't know what's that, but
Okay.
when I started like studying a little bit in your course, I understood.
Okay. Yeah, I love this conversation. I love it. So, yeah, you're in the course. You're in the Cosmo Quantum Energy course, the foundations. And interestingly enough, I've been teaching this course since 2020, but this is the first year in 2025 that I added that teaching in. I didn't know how to explain that to people, but I understood what you were saying about the back of the neck and the back of the skull, like right at the base of the skull.
Yes.
And so I could register it in my own being and I could register it happening to others, but I was like, what am I supposed to tell them? Like, what is this, you know? So the year you come, into, because I only teach it once a year. So the course space you signed up for was and you say that's what you really felt
Yeah,
pushing
and I
through.
still
This
it's
is the
sometimes
first time I'm teaching it too. So how cool is that? Isn't that a fantastic confirmation, you know?
exactly. I've been having a lot.
A lot of confirmations, yeah. All right, so let me just give everybody what we're talking about with this because they may be feeling it too. And it's in the course space. And I actually just wrote another book that's coming out in the next week or so. And it talks about this, okay? So in traditional teachings of the human body, of the energy centers, there's a center at the base of the skull called the mouth of God. Energy's rising really fast now. So in this space of these teachings of what we do with the cosmic quantum energy, we are expanding the individual I am in the now form that we are. And at the same time, there's a connection point to the energy center at the base of the skull, originally called the mouth of God. We like to call it, as we are allowing everything to expand, we like to call it the mouth of the I am.
Okay.
Now, that energy in the back of the skull moves through the head to the mouth of the now version that is the I am having a now. And so it's you in your origin pushing you in your now to allow your languages, yes, which are the languages of the I am. They are the languages of the universe. That is why you don't need to know what the words say or mean per se, yet you feel them, like you explained earlier. And they move the energy in your body to help you
So,
remember you. Does this make sense? Does it feel like an alignment?
so much. So much. Like you are speaking exactly my language. I'm not talking about the light language. I'm talking about the information. And it's perfect.
I love the way you said it makes you want to move your head. I do the same thing. So there's another confirmation as well. And what I understand, and I think we're always going to know more the next day because we're always expanding. But right now, in this moment, what I understand is when we move the head because we feel to, it's almost like we're adjusting
Yeah,
uh,
energy
the spine and the neck because of all the energy that's pouring through. Does that make sense? And you
a
kind of,
lot. Yeah, it's a lot of energy. You cannot resist it. You cannot not flex. It's forcing you to flex.
yes, yes.
It's bigger than you. It's bigger than the body.
Yes, yes. It is the space of your vastness. So your origin, my origin, each of us have like an individual alignment to our origin, our essence, and then we have our individualized experiential focal point that gives us this ability to learn and grow and expand. But that's what's flooding through is our origin essence, which is eons and eons and eons, unfathomable, incomprehensibly old. Beyond time. Old isn't even a great word to use when you're talking about quantum,
Yeah.
but we
Yeah.
allow. That's for the brain. We allow. So when I heard you in the chat and you made the recording of, it was like a phrase. I think I had given it maybe to everyone in a grid, a Cosmo
It's
grid or
one of
something.
your shorts, actually. It's one of your shorts. It's not something that
Oh, it's in a short. Okay.
that's
Okay.
one of the shorts that I wrote, but
Oh, I
it was the
love
first one
that.
I spoke.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what
So
I'm saying.
anyone can do this. What Anthony's saying
Yeah.
is when you feel in alignment with light language, and because I've had people ask me before, is it okay that I speak this?
That's what I had this fight. It's a self fight. Like, is that my light language that I'm supposed to speak? Like, am I being authentic about who I am, or is that a copycat because I don't do copycats?
Right.
But I didn't have the power to stop myself. I
Yes.
don't, yeah. So
And so then it's not copycat, it's your divine essence flowing.
it
It
could
we
be. I'm keeping like all the possibilities open.
Good for you.
Like,
Good for you.
yeah,
Good for you.
because like maybe this is a bridge for my true light language that is coming, or you're supposed to get me somewhere maybe different because I don't know about light language whatsoever. Like I'm just
Okay.
learning. So
So I love that. I love that, Anthony. Thank you for wording it that way. I am a bridge. So the work I do, Cosmic Quantum Energy, is a bridge that people are able to utilize to find their eternal truth, their essence,
you're
their
so much
origin.
more than that. No, no, no. I don't mean it like that. I
No,
mean
no,
it
no, it's true. Like I tell people that's what I am. I really do. But at the same
so
time,
much more to me than that. You know that.
I do, I do, I do. I appreciate that. I really do value that, Anthony, so greatly. But at the same time, I understand that when people find me and they feel the resonance and they allow that understanding of themselves, that connection of themselves, this is a space of you. This is a authentic space of you, or it wouldn't speak to you like that. It wouldn't unlock the doors or open the spaces of connection like it does if it wasn't authentic, because that's where the power lies in the authenticity of alignment. So then, in allowing that authentic moment, you are then able to, and I as well, yeah, connect in with even more of ourselves. So, like, I don't know how to explain this to everybody yet, but I understand it from my own experience. I believe your languages are limitless. I believe mine are as well. I believe everyone's are. I believe because if we are the origin point, having a now, then we have a connection to every other space of existence. Does that make sense?
I think that's the reason why I spoke your light language. That is exactly why I was allowing to
Yes.
accept anything. Like I want to connect with everybody. There is no one in specific, but it got activated through your light language.
Yes. And I do believe that people that resonate deeply, which is what I believe, I think you feel a deep resonance with me and with this space and with what I do, what I offer. So I think that usually people like that are also here to assist this type of space to so others can find it, whether that is just by being it in your own world and that amplifies it in the field, or whether that's by sharing it with others and talking about it, which you did. You took it to Egypt.
Yeah, yeah. I did a mission in Egypt concerning concerning the course exactly.
And you
So,
haven't even done the course yet, really. I mean, we
no,
start the we did some
it just
pre-course.
started. It got aligned this way. Like I booked already for that trip, and I have to thank Sophia through this video call. Sophia Lush is an amazing, amazing, amazing healer. I thank her so much for the opportunity and for letting me do whatever I did in Egypt, because like it
Yes.
was two spaces together and it was too
And
much to fathom, but it was so amazing, so amazing. And I love
so
everybody.
absolutely. Thank you to beautiful Sophia. And when you first told me about this, because we did have a private call and talked about this a little bit, and then I was like, we really need to share this with anybody we can on YouTube. So we're here again making this. But when you first told me about it, so to put this in a understanding for the viewer, you signed up for the course with me, but you had already signed up for Egypt on this space. Or go ahead.
Actually, they came really
Really
after the
close.
and I was forced to do both of them. I can't explain. Like I really can't explain.
I
But
love it.
it was something beyond my expectation and beyond my. I didn't plan this. I didn't plan this. I truly didn't plan this. I was sleeping in my bed, depressed and knocked out, and I was hitting bottom. And this came and lifted me up and changed everything. Like this is
Uh,
how it happened. This is how it
Atanea nata oa ia koa ye, ia koa ye, atanea na oa. Atanea na oa. I need to share that here. Atanea na oa. Just allow your breath, everyone, for just a moment, please. Atane. Ana oa kea. Atane. 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 Just breathing for a moment. We're anchoring a new level of consciousness in the now. Yes, for all, for all. Yes, thank you. Thank you to all spaces of this. Thank you. Seen and unseen. Yes, thank you. Ah. Atane, 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 atane. Oh, yes. So there is so much unfolding, holy ones, that is beyond what we understand, but that's all right. That's why we allow. That's why we trust. That's why we lean in. And this space that Anthony is speaking of, where it all just happened in that alignment for him. And he did trust and he allowed and he signed up for courses and went on trips and he followed his inner knowing best he could. And he trusted in the spaces and just put one foot in front of the other,
I had
showed
resistance
up.
as well. I had resistance, so much resistance, so much
Okay.
fight. Something was fighting me not to do them, but I went through them. Like I really pushed. I really pushed
Ooh.
because I really felt it is the truth that I'm like. How, how bigger can the confirmation be other than someone from Lebanon connecting to someone in Florida that I never met in my life, that I don't even knew your name. I knew A.L. Garris. That is all I knew. But I felt your heart, your energy, your light, and so much more. Really, like you healed my family's mother's wounds. I think it's becoming generational curse unbreaking already from that side, and I'm so grateful for that. Like so, it's been my mission my entire life to reach this point right here. like to break this generational curse from both trees, because it exists in both trees in my families.
Yes.
And no one is going to take this step other than me. So I have been chosen from my
Yes.
ancestors, divinely guided, and I've survived so much already. So
Oh,
I have
thank
nothing to lose anymore.
you. Thank you so much for being this space, Anthony. Thank you so much for being this space. You are so seen, Holy One, and understood and valued beyond words, beyond measure. And you are surrounded by light and teams of light. Ah, the unseen ones that walk with you, that speak to you, that guide you, that direct you, and they cannot force anything upon you. So it is your own trust and your own remembrance that is activating these spaces. They are there to assist, but they cannot assist unless you allow. Yes, and you have chosen to allow. So thank you, Holy One. Thank you for allowing. Yes, thank you for allowing. Anthony, thank you. Thank you. And there was and is much that was activated and anchored in Egypt.
Oh,
We had a small space of a call. It was fast, Anthony. We talked right before class. But can we share a little bit of that here? Uh, you were talking about being in Egypt and how incredible it was. And then I had a vision of you there and I shared it with you. And I said there was something about you touching the walls or you were inside the temple or, the space, the pyramid, whatever it was, but it was the walls. It was the stone. And it was that when you were doing so, you were activating a higher level of frequency, vibration, consciousness, even within the sacred site. And you said that had a confirmation for you, or that brought in some type of alignment of resonance. Can you share on that at all?
yeah, I think it was the Temple of Isis,
Okay. Okay.
and it was like a tight room with two walls and a ceiling.
Mm.
But this specific stone on the right, the one I touched, had an sort of angel on it.
Mm-hmm.
That stone was totally different from all the other stones, and it had like a white ceiling all around it. Like it was, it was recognized as something different. It was,
Mm-hmm.
and even the material is different.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I touched it, I felt like something moved in my body and charged something up. Like I literally, like in Egypt, I didn't eat the first 5 days. I didn't. My energy was so high, I didn't eat. But I was like, I don't know what happened. Like, I felt energy rising in my body in so many places as well, like different places in different ways. Sometimes from my feet, sometimes from my hands, sometimes
Yes, yes, we
just
talked
by
about that as
standing
well.
there. Just by standing there, I felt
Yes.
light coming in the room. Like I've experienced so much in Egypt, like really so much. It was so interesting, so interesting.
I
And
remember.
it brought my curiosity up, and that is a problem because I'm so curious. So
And yes, and it takes even more to keep allowing and trusting and just leaning in and showing up and being these spaces. I remember also in our call, we talked about, I think that was the first thing I saw was that you were walking. I said I could see you walking in Egypt, and every time your feet hit the earth, it was like an activation and an expansion of energy. Um, so I love that you had already even registered that, in the understanding of your feet even. And for me, and I don't know if I said this on our call, but yeah, I know that and believe and understand that when you were in Egypt, Anthony, yeah, and you were walking, your root lines. We believe in Acasma quantum energy that people have root lines, lines of light that come out of their feet like a tree has roots. And as you walk, They are always in the earth, right? They never separate, right? But as you walk, they're that connection to your body, to your being. And as you allow the expansiveness of you to come into your vessel, this is a vessel, right? Yeah, then that goes down those root lines. And so it has a connection with and an effect on the energetic space that you're in at the time where your root lines are moving through, you know. And so when you were walking in Egypt, you were like an activation rod, an activation antenna for higher consciousness to be brought back to humanity. There are many like us doing this on the planet, especially in sacred sites, because why? Because there are specific sites on the earth and we don't even know all of them. We think we do, and we say, oh, I want to go to this or that because it's sacred. There's so many more that we don't even know yet. But these sacred sites amplify and broadcast at another level, okay? So when you went to Egypt and you were doing your being you and allowing, every step you took was amplifying higher consciousness being activated at a new level for all of humanity and all of consciousness through those sacred sites in connection with what you were running through your body. Does that make sense to you?
No. That is too much to fathom, actually. Yeah.
That's great. I love that, Anthony. Okay, that's so good though. See, so
I
many
want to know.
will relate to that. They will relate to that answer, Anthony. Thank you for that. Can you see it from the perspective of just like the words themselves? Can the mind say, okay, I could see that when my feet hit the earth, there's an amplification of energy and it
Yeah,
spreads and it
I,
amplifies
I know
due to the
exactly
site?
where the spot is. The spot was in Abu Simbel in Ramses Temple, but right before I got to Ramses Temple, it was the road to Ramses Temple. It was
Yes.
whenever my foot hit the ground, I felt like something coming up really strong, really, really strong. And I
Mm,
felt electricity going
mm.
up my body and full charged. And then after that, we had this gathering as a circle and we did a meditation and it was really, really powerful meditation. Like I used every symbol in the course and that I knew from Acasma quantum energy, and I acquired confirmation on every symbol that I've used. I have used the light language and confirmed the potency in your light language. There is a high potency in your light
Yes, so the visual is of you in your form. My goodness. Okay. Anchoring this higher level of consciousness, yeah, for all humanity. And there are many more like us on the planet doing this. We send that out so everybody knows. We're not saying we're the only ones. We're not saying we're the only way. We're one of many. But this is what you were doing there, Anthony. And Acasma quantum energy is this ancient future, uh, yeah, energetic connection, consciousness itself. It's in alignment with Christ consciousness, the understandings of Yeshua. It's in the alignment of the original architects of Earth that were here before all of that we understand unfolded, and that which we have never even heard of yet. But we're going to learn. We're going to learn about these other spaces of ourselves. But Acasma is that origination point for Earth as well. Anthony, when you were in Egypt, yeah, and you brought a Cosma, I need everybody to hear this for a minute that can hear it with us, because when you who are listening, you the viewer right now, when you hear this with us, this gets to anchor deeper, and we need you to anchor this with us. So all who are listening, just listen, please. When Anthony walked, who, when Anthony walked in Egypt, and he trusted something he really didn't understand yet or know totally yet, right? But he felt in his being a connection with a teaching, a concept, an alignment. of peace that passes all understanding. And Anthony allowed that trust level to flow through his being, and he brought forth a connection with Acasma quantum energy in Egypt, in sacred sites, with others who were there, who were running these sacred energies, who had been called like him to be in that space. This was a massive energetic pulse into the now reality lines of humanity that would almost shake out the disconnects and the densities of curses and cords and all these things humans have believed in for so long and dealt with and been underneath for so long, in generation upon generation upon generation. And when you were there and you were allowing yourself to think Acasma star, Acasma root reconnection, soul reconnection, peace and balance, chalice of life, and speak the phrases you knew to speak, and you would allow yourself to speak. Yes. That was this massive energetic wave pulsing through the timelines, the realities, and shifting them. Yeah. This is really, really beautiful, Anthony, and big on such a level. I'm going to add this in, and then I'm going to shut up and let Anthony talk for a minute. But it's important that I share this. We're all...
What am I going to speak now?
I got more questions, Anthony. I got more questions. You're so sweet. I love you. So this is important. Hear this with me, everybody. Yeah. I was invited to go to Egypt with a very beautiful group of people that do this work, luminaries. And I already had scheduled my Sedona yearly event. This was last year. I had already scheduled my Sedona. I do it every year. And they were overlapping. So I said, oh, I can't do Egypt. And I really wanted to do Egypt. And it would have been in September of 24. So Spirit found a way to get Acasma to Egypt.
Wow. This is September 24 is the month that my grandma died. 14 September 2020. That just happened.
So everyone can hear this and allow this to anchor deeper. What's the message? There's a lot of messages in what we're talking about and what we're sharing, but one of the messages is trust yourself as much as you can and allow as much as you can and lean in as much as you can. And if something doesn't work or align perfectly, trust that it's all for the better good. Because I believe when I said I can't do Egypt because I got to go to Sedona, it was because Anthony needed to come in and Anthony needed to be this space, because Anthony was already designated to be this space of Acasma in Egypt. Spirit will always find a way to unfold everything in the most beautiful way. We can't mess it up. We need to own that. We need to own it's all unfolding beautifully. If we can't show for something, Spirit will bring in something even better. And when I was in Sedona in September of 24, I understand, and I have for some time, that there's some alignments with the Grand Canyon, which is 2 hours north of Sedona. There's alignments with the Grand Canyon in Egypt. And I understand that I've been drawn to the Grand Canyon for probably since 2017 or so. I started feeling like I needed to go there. And I was like, really? The Grand Canyon? Why do I need to go to the Grand Canyon? But then I started finding out that there's a lot of connections with secret sites in the Grand Canyon that are like off limits. You cannot go to them. If you try to go to them, the helicopters come in and the government shows up and they're like, you can't be in here, get out of here. And I've read and researched now that they found stuff, they found artifacts, they found hieroglyphics and all these different connection points with Egypt. And so I believe that when I was in, and when I am in Sedona, and I do go up to the canyon usually every trip, I go every single year. I never miss a year for like 6, 7 years now or more. But I'm activating something that's in connection with Egypt. And then I believe Anthony trusted, felt the resonance. It all fell in his lap. He said, okay, look at this. I got to do this. Yeah. And so he did. And he was the other part of this space. Like, I believe it's all connected, you know? Yeah. Here's my other take on this, and I want to have Anthony share what he feels about this. Visually, I mean, right off the bat, you can tell I'm a divine feminine in human form, all right? I'm a woman, right? Anthony's a man. I feel like this is also an understanding for us because in the work we do, I do Acasma Quantum Energy offers, we do a lot of healing for the divine feminine, divine masculine, divine union, which also heals inner child. But I think it was really important that as a woman stood in Sedona and in connection with the Grand Canyon and the understandings of Egypt's alignments there, or the culture there, whatever we want to use the wording, and a masculine, yes, stood in Egypt, yes. And we can take it further because you mentioned the wall was in Isis's temple. Is that correct? Did I remember that correctly? Okay, again, a reference to the feminine, but being initiated by the masculine. Are you with me? Do you have any thoughts on this, Anthony?
Like, yeah, I truly feel like you are my divine feminine teacher that I'm supposed to meet, my divine feminine mother, spiritual mother. I don't know what the connection is truly. I'm still figuring
Yeah.
things out, but it's so wide, so vast. And I'm just getting confirmation after confirmation. So
Yes.
I'm all that was true.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for allowing, thank you for sharing on that as well. So here is, and again, I want to share this spot because this is how cool this trust level is, because that's a lot about what we do in Acasma Quantum Energy is we remember to trust ourselves and we remember to allow and back away from being up underneath the space and get an observation of the space and allow the space some space so it can move, right? So all can flow. But here you are, this is what I want to make note of. The course, the Acasma Quantum Energy course starts March 22nd, and today is like March 6th. So technically, Anthony's never even taken the course. Anthony has been in the pre-course classes, which is where we talk about what we're going to do. We talk about how it's about shifting your perspective. It's about remembering who you are, allowing your I am, opening up your flow. And there's meditations and expanding consciousness meditations and attuning sessions we've done. So you have had contact with the energetic side of it and the initial orientation, I guess we could say, right?
I've done all the C2C.
Yes. So you've done all the activations and attunements in the pre-course space. But how, and I just want to like lay at your feet a huge wave of gratitude for being so awesome to, when you were in Egypt, trust yourself and say, we're going to bring in Acasma Quantum Energy. How awesome is that, Anthony? Do you see how awesome you are?
It was really coming from the heart space, and I didn't like literally do anything. It was something else moving through me and doing the spaces instead of me. It wasn't me. Like It wasn't me. I didn't do that by myself. I cannot take that as a, where did the collective go all the sudden, like the collective is doing everything. That's how I think about it.
I honor that. I honor that. And I see that with you. But I do want to lay at your feet, and you have the opportunity to take it or nibble on it or reject it. It's all up to you, Anthony. It took your trusting yourself
Yeah,
and leaning in. So you
yeah,
played a role, like allowing that space to be
yeah,
seen by
of
you. Okay.
course,
Because I don't think that's the first thing you go to. And I honor that. You're humble, and that's a beautiful trait. So I want to commend you for leaning in and trusting yourself. That was a really big space to say, I'm going to go and be it. And then that is most likely why the divine could flood in, because you gave it an opportunity to do so. Does that make sense?
yeah. And I went totally empty, only with Acasma. Like I didn't use even the prayers that I used to do before and the rituals and whatever. Like I'm Christian. I didn't pray in Egypt. I only used the Acasma quantum energy course
Okay.
symbols and a little bit of your light language, and that was it. That was
Absolutely
it.
beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing this. Oh my goodness. Are there any other spaces that you want to share with us before we move on to another topic about Egypt?
Yeah, in the pyramid, I didn't feel so good. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I had pain here on the lower rib, and it stopped me from breathing and moving up the pyramid. But I understood what it was, and I like released it over there, and I continued. But I kept feeling better every time I went away from the pyramid. I don't know if it's the right pyramid I should have went to. I
Yeah.
feel like it's next one, next
Okay.
to it, one next
Okay.
to it.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of
There is also as well something really important that happened that I have a video of, something that is similar to your space that I could speak about. It's
okay.
we were in front of the statue of Sekhmet, and I
Mm.
believe it is in the temple of Dendera or Hathor temple. I need to go back to the data to remember, but I was filming a video and I saw the light beings, and I showed everybody the light beings in the room, and they were like, "Wow."
That's
That
oh,
was wow.
I love it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna share that with you as soon as I like, because my ability with the camera is not so professional, so I'm gonna choose a good section and
Get a piece of it out that you're good with. I understand completely. That's absolutely beautiful, Anthony. And that is another alignment with Acasma. I mean, there's other modalities on the planet and connection points that people can work with, and I completely support all of them that are here to do this work that we're doing. But with Acasma, that's one of the signature spaces is people that work with Acasma and lean in and allow this, and then they get a camera out and they film themselves in their home, or they film themselves on a sacred site or wherever. Um, they see these beautiful beings, and it lines up with what we teach in Acaspa. We teach you're surrounded by light. Yes. And we teach that
or
we are light and we're here to be that light. And so I love that you have the video of that as well. And it's really not about, yeah, where we're at. I mean, that absolutely plays somewhat of a role for sure, because certain spaces, the energy's higher and it's easier for them to come in and come through because it's the understanding of resonance, right? But the most important factor is you. It's you. And how do I know this and what do I mean? I've filmed in my own home, and then I've traveled to hotels to do destination events or a family vacation. I've traveled to sacred sites. I've done the Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles, where I was in a small meeting room, with the group of people that came to see me. And it was down in a basement in the bottom of a hotel in Los Angeles, and they were there. So, I mean, like, the alignment is you, and you hold that availability. I hold that availability. We are available to be that bridge, to be that connection point. And so how glorious that you have that in Egypt. Like, that's incredible. That's incredible, Anthony. So I look forward to it. I look forward to whatever you feel to share with us. Thank you for,
There's still something that it's really, really amazed me in Egypt, and it was we were sitting next to the fire, and we had our prayers, and we were releasing our traumas and everything. And then I close my eyes, and I see a violet golden orb and pinkish in my brain, and it starts like moving like that in a certain way and vibrating and pulsing, 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 pulsing. But I got distracted from someone. He cut that off. So it had to happen when I came back home in Lebanon. The, I experienced something really awesome. And I open up my phone and I see you have downloaded the same picture of the orb that I'm talking about on Instagram, Patreon, somewhere like that.
yeah.
It's something purple, golden, pinkish.
Yes.
Yeah, it's. I saw that clearly in Egypt before I saw it on your phone. I
I love it. I love it. I love
telling
it.
you, confirmation, so much
It's huge.
confirmation. I
So
don't
many
know where.
things. Um, so this is such an incredible time to be alive and to be here now on Earth. And a lot of people who find their way to this video and this topic and understanding of spiritual expansion and so forth, a lot of people, not all, but many, move through some darkness before they get to that light. And you mentioned dark spaces you've navigated. And even when I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you first were coming into the chat, there were some older spaces that you felt were still like present, that were denser. And we talked a
Yeah,
little bit. And then I think that was the day that the light language was super strong and you put it into the chat as well. Um,
exactly.
this is what we get to do, right? We get to be this space of transition from fear to love. We get to be this activation point in the field of consciousness that is remembering itself as divine and having a now. And then this is then available to all those who are having nows in what we call the human experience. And yeah, so it's always coming from, it's, in a cosmic quantum energy, it's always coming from self first. And that is not selfish. That's truly what it must be in order for it to go to anybody else, because you cannot give what you do not have, and you cannot pour from an empty vessel. So, yes, the AQE course that you're in, and it technically starts in a few weeks, it's broken into like segments: AQE1, AQE2, AQE3. And so the first couple of weeks were in AQE1, a Cosmic Quantum Energy 1. And that is mainly all about reconnecting into this remembrance of ourselves. So reconnecting back in to even get a ping, an energetic nudge, like the back of your neck, you know. And then in AQE2, we drop fear, because if you reconnect into that I am, the fear does not, it can't coexist. It's a different vibration and it no longer can be there. So that's when all that starts to be like, hey, we've got to move this, you know, we've got to move this, we've got to alchemize this. So I don't know though, I would love your feedback if you have a thought or two on this. This is the first year I've run pre-course classes. I mentioned it before in the classes to you guys, the students, but those that are watching the video, we've never done pre-course classes before. We've only done the course itself. We jump right in. And this was the first time that I was like, no, I'm going to take 2 months and I'm going to do 4 classes that are just kind of getting everybody ready. But I always say, when clients book a session with a Cosmic Quantum Energy, it already starts before the date and
Oh yeah,
time.
I felt that.
And it's the
I
same with the course, right? Like before you get
whenever
to the,
I paid the money, whenever I paid the money and I like really decided to take the course, everything started shifting. Everything. But it was like slower. Now it's faster. Now it's much faster. Like I'm maybe better in an energetic, vibrational, better field. Maybe I released a lot of stuff. I think, and the course is helping so much. Like it is quantum. It is
Mm,
fast.
I love
So
that.
fun.
I love that feedback. It's really helping us understand ourselves, right? It's helping us understand what is quantum work. We have science telling us what quantum is, and now we have a certain degree of spiritual world telling us what quantum is, but we're still kind of working our way into this. What is quantum? You know, what does it mean to be quantum? What does it mean to be multidimensional and even eternal, you know? But these types of moments are giving us an understanding, right? They're giving us a window into it because you're making a decision and then all of a sudden you're experiencing a space of that decision, maybe further into it than you actually are in the physical understanding of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I, I think that's just so trippy cool. That's the words we like to use at Acasma, trippy cool. Trippy cool. So, all right. So let's see. Yeah, that was even interesting for me because when you first reached out, I think you reached out to me on Instagram in a direct message, and I didn't know you. I had not had contact with you.
That was after the contact that I experienced the hug before that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. So yes, you had contact
I was
with
led
me.
to you. I was led to you. They
Yes, I
dragged.
love that. Oh, I love
They
it.
dragged.
And we actually have a lot of students and family members in the Acosma community where we totally understand and embrace and engage the connection with dragons. So I love that you even brought that in as well. You can't see it right now, but I have these, I don't know what they're called, serpentine or something. They're like an egg. They look like an egg. They're a crystal. I call
Oh,
I call them my dragon eggs, but I'll put a I'll put a visual here in the video that we're making. Um, and then I have this other amethyst that's really big. It's over on the floor, but it's like a slice of an amethyst crystal, and it's like this long, and it looks like a dragon's mouth, like the whole head. So I love that you brought even the dragon in, and a lot of people will see the dragons in C2Cs and when they do the Acasma attuning sessions, the consciousness to consciousness attuning sessions, energy sessions, they'll have the dragons come in. A lot of times the dragon's you. So the
oh,
dragon that, yeah, the dragon that came to you and helped you and led you to this space, and then you had this connection with me, and then you feel the hug. And we haven't talked yet in this now life, right? Am I right that we hadn't
oh yeah.
talked in the
We had zero connection, personal connection, zero. Like not even a message.
right. Okay. And that happens with this. This is not like I have people tell me these stories where they've met me in the quantum and then 2 years later they find me online and they're like, I know this was you. I have another guy, Gregory. He's in our Eternal Light Within pod and he swears I came to him in a dream space and he met me there and then he met me after the fact, you know, via reaching out. A woman named Kirsten, she had the same type of experience. But this is the confirmation to us from us that we're quantum. Yes. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes,
We're
absolutely.
learning who we are by experience.
Yeah,
What are
but
you thinking?
I
What are you
figured out
thinking?
something about the dragons that is related to the heart chakra and the heart's area. So I was experiencing pain in my heart, as I told you. So I guess that confirms the existence of dragons, what they're here to do. That they're
It
helping.
is, yes, it is one of the things they're here to do. It is one of the things they're here to do. Now, I think there's an understanding available, and again, everything's layered and there's always way more than what I can say, but and you should have your take on it, your interpretation. But you having that feeling on the heart and then being led by a dragon to me, a cosmic quantum energy, the power symbol is the Acasma star. And the Acasma star, when you are doing a self session or facilitating for someone else, you bring the Acasma star in front of the heart.
Okay.
And that activates the I am that you are, or that the person is that you're facilitating for. It activates that I am to rise up and alchemize and clear the energy so that the presence in the now is in its wholeness. You're back in your I am alignment, your truth, your essence, your origin, and anything that was suppressing you or harming you or hurting you or trying to wake you up, really, right? Yeah, so you could remember who you are, that gets shifted. Yeah, and gets cleared and gets alchemized. And then you can rise and you can remember and you can reconnect and you can expand. So how awesome that the dragon brought you to a space that has this healing for the heart, and you were in that space of pressure on the heart. So are you seeing that with me?
That's so awesome. So awesome. So much confirmation. Like really, I'm really excited to really study the course now because like I have so much experience before I even get to the course.
I love it. I love it.
To fail the course, I have no excuse not to study. I have no excuse
No,
to
you already know you passed. You already know. You took it to Egypt and like had all these incredible experiences.
about
So like,
passing it, about like really learning. It's really
yes,
a
I
good
get you.
course.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
beautiful.
No, that's a really important part, Anthony. Thank you for saying that because we talk about that a lot in Acasma as well. I can teach people these things, and we have other teachers that teach Acasma as well. So we can teach Acasma and we can share the symbols and we can share the understandings that expand and your reality and that expand your remembrance. But we cannot make the student implement. We cannot make the client allow. The client, the student must choose for themselves to implement. And that's what I think you're saying. You know, you really want to implement, you really want to understand it at a depth in which you live it, you breathe it, you are it, you know. And
Yeah.
so that is like music to my ears and my heart.
It was the medicine for my heart, actually.
I love that. I love that. Medicine for my heart. Oh my goodness. That's
It is
beautiful.
exactly. That's exactly what it was.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. And you know how you said, and I would love your clear truth on this, whatever it is for you, Anthony, but you know, you mentioned how you just knew you had to do the space, you had to allow the space, and there's several things that space is that you did. But this one with me, this one with the cosmic quantum energy and signing up for a course and investing financially at that level. Do you have any feedback on what the process is and how you've experienced the way universe meets you when we say yes to bigger spaces like that?
Without like allowing new experiences, you cannot like really find out the truth. And I was looking for the truth. And with the confirmation that I got through this connection, this space of me getting better, everything is becoming better, everything is becoming more clear. Truth is setting me free, and that is a that is the blessing right there. Is to be free. It's like there is no price on freedom. There is no price on wisdom. There's no price on learning. Um, it was something like a huge step of trust that I needed to do, but I really understand now why I did it. And I'm really grateful that I did it. And
I'm
it's like,
grateful too.
yeah, it's not even worth it to talk about the money when
Mm.
it comes to the true
Yes.
experience that you're having. It's a true experience. It's not hallucination. It's not
No. Yeah.
manipulation. I have nothing to win by saying this about your course. Like I already paid, I already paid for the course, so I didn't get it for free to make a advertising or something like that. But it is the truth, you know. Like,
No,
and I
I value that.
and
Yeah.
I really felt it. It was the truth, and I went with it to Egypt. I have confirmed like
Mm.
a lot of this. Material from this course that I didn't even take. Like I took a huge step of trust, as you were saying, and I allowed, and that what made me do it actually is the allow that you say. Like this is like so powerful, so powerful. It's like simply allow and just do it and get over your fear. You know who you are, you trust, you believe, you have experienced miracles, like, you know, like there's nothing to lose, only expansion. We're expanding and it's beautiful.
I love that. Thank you, Anthony, for that. Thank you so much. Um, would you close this with me for anyone watching right now to be able to receive whatever they need? I know that seems so vast, but that's really what's possible. A lot of times we offer content in the spiritual community and we say, if you need to cut a cord, do this video, or if you need to balance your chakras, do this video, or if you need to calm your anxiety, do this video. But I'm telling you, what we're offering here is the understanding of the remembrance of your I am, which means whatever you need is available right now. Whatever you need is available. And so, would you hold this space with me, Anthony, for whoever's watching us and connecting in, that we just, hold the alignment of Acasma quantum energy together. We'll balance it with the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Just everybody allow your breath for one moment, please. Just allow your breath. If you want to close your eyes, you can. Just allow the space. Yes. Yes. Just allow the space. Yes. Just allow your breath. Yes. Root centers are opening. Root lines are anchoring deeper. Yes. Crowns are clearing and opening. Breathe, please. Yes, yes, just allow. Ooh, beautiful opening in the third eye, solar plexus, sacral, just breathing. Ha, just allowing. Yes, this is a balance in you, a peace in you, meeting you right where you're at. Yes, the I am of you, your essence. Yes, expanding, expanding. Yes, in your now. Breathing, please. Your field, yes, is now an impenetrable shield of love. You have an impenetrable shield of love, Holy One. You are light and you are here to be your light. Yes, and you are remembering and allowing. Trust yourselves, yes, and lean in. Allow your breath, please. Tane, atane, 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 akao, aye. Atane, ako, aye, I anasawatea. Atanea, 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 kaohoa, kaohoa. Ha! Anchoring deeper into the new earth. Allow your breath. Mouth of God, mouth of the I am, opening, back of skull, breathing, please. Resetting the feminine and the masculine into divine union, breathing, please. Yes, resetting the waters of the body. Yes. Tanea, 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 tanea. Yes. Yes, thank you, Holy Ones. You have anchored it in. Just allow your breath. Just allow the space. Yes, just allow the space. Yes. Beautifully done, Holy One. Beautifully done. Feel that grounding energy setting in now. Let it go down through the legs. Just breathing and allowing. It's a grounding energy, anchoring these higher vibratory states of you into your now. Breathing, allowing. Beautifully done. Big clearing in the solar plexus. Yes. And the sacral. Yes. New alignment in the neck as well. Thank you, Holy Ones, for being this space. Thank you for being this space. Just allow your breath. There's a lot of energy moving in the heart still as well. Just allow your breath as you bring the focus back nice and slow. And throat energy, so the heart is opening. Your heart is opening, dear one, into the throat. That's your I am. Your eternalness flooding in to your now, just allowing that to move, just being open. Yes. Yes, beautifully done. Beautifully done. Just being the space. Lower center of the heart. So the heart has different layers and levels. The lower is connecting into your solar plexus. That's because your energy in your body is moving into being a flow of energy, a flow of light, a pillar of light, a shaft of light, instead of compartmentalized and broken into sections. All of us are ascending and expanding. And so right now, those centers, the solar plexus and the heart, are opening and connecting and expanding. That's beautiful. Just allow your breath and allow your flow. Trust yourself. You are loved and you are surrounded by that love. Yes, yes, you are surrounded always, every breath, every step. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Anthony, for being this space with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to be that space.
I bow to you, Holy One. I bow to you with gratitude, and to all those who connected with this video. We love you. We love you. We love you. Thank you, Anthony. I'm so grateful. I really am. I'm so grateful. That was beautiful. You did a phenomenal job. I know that you were kind of thinking about what it would be like and how it would go. You did great. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I did. I have so much fun. I never had so much fun in my life. You are so amazing, so cool, and so trippy as well.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. All right. Well, maybe we'll do it again. In a few months, maybe we'll have more stories to tell, and maybe we'll do it again. But blessings on your now. Thank you for leaning in and allowing, and blessings on your night as you go to do your spaces that are awaiting you. Blessings on them and all that
Thank
unfold for you. I'm grateful for you, Holy One.
Thank you, divine. Thank you. Thank you. Like I don't have my second hand right now to bow to you, but
You're so good. You're so good. You made it all work. Thank you for that. All right. We'll talk soon. Okay, Anthony? We'll talk soon. All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.